I often have a clear picture of a goal and I go straight for it, putting in the right effort and energy. However, I can also hold back on aiming for what I really want because I don't feel I have the right to aim so high. Again, that comes down to identity, self-worth, imposter syndrome, way more than strategy. When you absolutely own yourself at the level that you want to play at, that level will then present itself as, the game you're in. But if you're in the 50 grand a year game and you're setting 100 grand a year goals, you can't play that game because you're not a player in that game. You're a player in the 50 grand a year game. That's how you see yourself. And until you see yourself in the 100 grand a year game, so if you see yourself in that game and you find yourself in the 50 grand a year, you say, whoa, hang on a minute, I don't belong here. I'm getting the hell out of town. Sorry, guys, love you. I've got better stuff to do. And boom, you're out looking at ways to get back into the 100 grand a year game because that's who you are. That's what you do. That's the level you play at. Now, if it comes down to identity, which that is, how do you shift that? Well, you went through week 13, an identity statement. If you do that consistently, congruently with the heart, mind aligned, it'll become who you are over time. Not having alignment because you don't believe it's within your grasp. And we see this a lot. Have you ever, any network marketers in the house? Any people playing the game? If you go to a network marketing conference, generally what you'll see is in that conference, everybody's hyped up. You just had 200,000 motivational speakers, 5,000 people, energy's off the charts. And, good old John, who's making, 30 grand a year in Subway, gets on stage and says, this time next year, I'm going to be making 200 grand. And everybody cheers for good old John. Well, John's got absolutely zero chance of ever doing that because he's going from, somebody who is worth 30 grand a year that believes that to getting pumped up in the moment to earning big checks because they sees it on stage and everyone tells them it's possible for the last 2 days at the conference he spent half his wages to attend, and then goes and falls flat and quits the business 6 months later because it's not happening. And now he doesn't want to face the people a year later because he feels he's a failure. Anyone relate to the story here that I'm telling, by the way? It's seen many times. So instead, what good old John's got to do is say, okay, right now, I'm a 27 grand a year Subway sandwich manager or whatever they earn. I need to set a goal that's within my heart and mind alignment space that I can aspire to, not fantasize about. Because there's no energy in fantasy. It stays fantasy. Aspiring, where you get inspired to go after it, is a different game. What about doubling your wages? What about replacing your 37 grand a year this time next year with your network marketing income so that you have the ability to step away from Subway? Boom. Is that a more reasonable level of expectation? Because I can see myself as somebody who's no longer working at Subway. He's never going to see himself walking on stage, earning 20 grand a month. It's outside of his sphere of universal experience. In fact, if he was to land, as I say, a lottery ticket that month, we know what's going to happen. Who he is not that person. No, he hasn't got enough people in his team, so he's going out trying to recruit. That's the wrong rabbit hole. Most of the time, the goal is the front brain fantasy of what you think other people either expect of you or what you think, if I had that, I won't be a failure. You're looking at it through the wrong end of the telescope. If I'm on this rung of the ladder, what's going to be something that can lead me to step further up the ladder without looking at the top? I'm not saying knock back your expectations. You're just not that person yet. Not that you're not capable of it. Not that you're not worth that. You're not that person yet. And the gap is not in what you can earn. That's unlimited. The gap is, what's the next evolution of who do you need to become?